So just the day after talking about Vita Vea potentially being on the move and requesting a trade out of Tampa, today, to follow that up, we're talking about Baker Mayfield might be on his way out as well. And once again, you guessed it, it's about money. Rightfully so. Everyone deserves to get paid for what they do. But allow me to say this. Yesterday we talked about Vita Vea is on his way out thanks to the money issues in Tampa. Today we're talking about Baker Mayfield potentially being out or unhappy with the organization thanks to money issues. Allow me to say this. Tampa, what in the Joe Buck are y'all doing? And I'm like, look, I'm a Falcons fan, okay? So we're in the same division, okay? And now, granted, the Falcons over the years, I'll be honest, I tell you, hey, look, I take responsibility. The Falcons over the years have not paid a lot of people that we should have paid. We didn't pay Dion, and that did not pay off at all. But we didn't pay Dion, so look, I get it, it happens. But after all these years, you think things like this should be handled pretty swiftly. Just yesterday, I said, okay, Vita Vea is on the way out. I don't understand what y'all want Baker Mayfield to do. He pretty much has to carry the team as of now, right? Like, he pretty much has to carry the team. He's the only, like, real, I guess you would say real. I mean, well, there's other, players on the team, but he's the only, like quarterback, like, leader position that the team has at the moment. And obviously he plays quarterback, so that's fitting for him to be the quarterback, because he's pretty much the guy in Tampa right now. He's pretty much all the hopes are riding on. Pause on that. Yeah. But all the hopes are going on for Tampa in this upcoming year, in my personal opinion. Just being honest with you guys. Just being real, right? But today, we're discussing Mr. I woke up feeling dangerous. Baker Mayfield is potentially going to be on his way out, right? So what's going on with Baker Mayfield is, I guess you could say, similar to Vita Vea. It's just he's not requesting a trade yet. So basically what happened is Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not reach a contract extension before his self-imposed training camp deadline, and he is set to play out the final year of his deal. He is scheduled to make $33 million in this upcoming season, okay? He's making $33 million this upcoming season. Now, he can potentially become an unrestricted free agent next offseason, so he's just going to play out this last year of his deal and see what he's worth on the open market, which is why he set this deadline, so it could be like, okay, once it gets to a certain point, after that, we ain't talking about no contract, we ain't talking about no extension. It's fully focused on football and trying to see what this team could be, how this team could develop, and trying to get the best out of this team, right? So that's Baker Mayfield's, standpoint on it, if you will. All right. Now, as far as his training camp status, just to let you guys know, he is fully participating. He's not holding in or holding out, anything like that. He's fully participating. He's going to be fully committed to this year. The thing is, after this year, yeah, he probably won't be there if they don't pay up and give him the dollars that he feels like he is worth. And right now, reportedly, Tampa is talking about a potential, or excuse me, I'm saying that like current tense, because Baker Mayfield said we ain't talking about nothing as of right now. In past tense, Tampa was talking about a extension around the 4s, right? But reportedly, Baker Mayfield is seeking a deal at the 5s. And what I mean by that is millions, right? So we're doing 40 mil, 50 mil. Tampa's extension talks was more around 40 mil. Baker Mayfield is like, nah, I need 50. I need 50 mil. And whether you like Baker Mayfield, you don't like him, hate him if you want to, love him if you want, people deserve to get paid for what they do. And y'all already know my stance on, I don't care who it is, y'all already know my stance on it. I'm about everybody getting a bag. So I feel like Baker Mayfield need to get his. He need to get his bag. And as far as the team focus, Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles said the team will not focus or not make this training camp about Baker from a team standpoint. So basically, he's pretty much where Baker is at this point. Like, pretty much, okay, we're not gonna worry about the extension. We're not gonna worry about the contract. He's like, look, we're not gonna focus on Baker. We're not gonna focus on the contract. This is a training camp environment, a team environment. We're focused on that. So we ain't talking about the extension. We ain't talking about no contract, none of that. So he's fully focused on the team environment as well, along with Baker Mayfield himself. Now, just to give you guys a general idea, excuse me. Just to give you guys a general idea, Baker Mayfield has signed an extension with Tampa before. He signed a 3-year, $100 million deal with Tampa after the first year, right? So he signed that extension with Tampa after he came back and had that comeback year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And might I say, played how I knew Baker Mayfield could play, but it was very inspiring to see him finally put it together after the trials and everything he had been through, with the trials and everything that he had been through in his previous years. Because if you guys don't remember, his time after Cleveland, or even in Cleveland, got rocky. If y'all don't, quite remember that time, let's go. I'll take you guys down a little rabbit hole. Pause. But okay, so first in Cleveland, everything is going smooth. They go to the playoffs, right? They go to the playoffs. They beat the Steelers. They lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Respectable, right? If you lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, I think that's respectable in any, especially if they got number 15 out there, they got my homeboy out there, Patrick, my homeboy. If you lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs, hey, great season. You just went up against a better team. I mean, look, that's what it is. So they lose against the Chiefs, but they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, right? They get a playoff win. So after that, the whole Odell Beckham Jr. Baker Mayfield feud happens, right? Hashtag free OBJ. So basically what happens was OBJ's dad goes on social media and releases this whole video clip of Baker Mayfield just consistently, over however many games, consistently missing OBJ on targets. Like OBJ and I gotta be honest, y'all know I'm just gonna keep it real. The way the video made it look, you would have thought like, dang, like Baker Mayfield missed OBJ a lot. Like he missed a lot of opportunities with OBJ because OBJ's dad did a great job as far as highlighting the plays where OBJ got open. OBJ beat his man. He beat the coverage. He had a chance to score touchdowns, had a chance to be free in the open field. And Baker Mayfield, from the looks of the video, just missed the reads. That's simply what happened. Now, granted, to Baker Mayfield's defense, people can cut a video of anything. That's why, like, if you guys go on like YouTube and stuff, and I know I do this a lot sometimes. I'll go look at, say, Luka Doncic highlights, right? I'll go look at Luka Doncic highlights, or I'll go look at LeBron James highlights from the 2018 season, or whatever, right? You go look at highlights from a player or anything like that, or you go look at Tom Brady highlights, Bijan Robinson highlights, right? You can make any video look any way you want to. You can take a third string running back and make it look like he is like the best running back on the field, because you can just simply cut his good plays, cut the plays where he was gaining 7 yards, 10 yards, catching the pass out of the backfield, getting 15 yards, getting screen passes, getting 20 yards, getting his touchdowns where he scored 6 touchdowns on a year. If you spread those touchdowns out over the video, it makes it look like he's a consistent scorer. He's a consistent threat. So you can make a video look however you would like it to. You can cut it however you would want it to make it look however you want it to, however you like. It almost look at like videos like movies. If you're a movie director, you can get that movie to go any way you want to. If you want the hero to die at the end, you want the villain to die at the end, you want both of them to stay alive, you want it to end on a cliffhanger, you want to hint, you want to give like a little hint to the sequel, you want to drop some little cookie crumbs in there for what the next movie gonna be, you want to have an end of credit scene like Marvel, whatever. You can make a movie look however you want it to. Same thing with videos and highlights and everything like that. You can make a video look however you want it to. So from the looks of it, it looked like Baker Mayfield was a just calling a spade, it looked like he was a kind of fraud of a quarterback at that time, because it was like man, he missing OBJ a lot, and that's supposed to be like your receiver. Like that's supposed to be your 1A receiver. Now, or I could say, if not 1A, that's supposed to be your 1B receiver outside of Jarvis, right? Like that's supposed to be your 1B receiver. Why aren't you finding him on all of these potential plays, right? But I can say personally, just from, because I remember that whole situation, it wasn't as bad as people made it seem, like as far as missing OBJ and stuff like that. Now, the highlight tape did make it seem a little bad, but like I say, you can cut anything to make it look however you would like it to. He was missing OBJ at times, but it wasn't as bad as that. It wasn't as bad as it made it seem. You can cut a video to look however. You can make a low light reel, a highlight reel, whatever. So then we fast forward from the Cleveland situation. Okay, Deshaun Watson gets traded to Cleveland, so boom, Baker Mayfield has to go. Now we know how the Deshaun Watson thing ended up turning out. But hey, at the time they said, hey, Baker Mayfield, pack your bags, brother. We got a better quarterback. We'll see you around. We don't need you no more, right? Kicked him to the curb. He goes from there, he gets traded to the Carolina Panthers. But the problem there is he don't get a fair opportunity with the Panthers. Why? Because they already had traded for a quarterback in Sam Darnold. Okay, so now you're going to be having a quarterback battle with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield as two potential two at one point very highly respected quarterbacks and highly touted quarterbacks at one point in time. Kind of in a quarterback battle, but so Baker Mayfield didn't get the edge there. Sam Darnold ended up getting the the benefit of the doubt. He ended up getting the more reps. So after Carolina, he moves on to the Rams, right? So he goes to the Rams. Now, this is where the upswing starts. The ascension of Baker Mayfield starts, right? He goes to the Rams, coming off a team plane where he had to study the playbook on the plane. He has to study the playbook on the plane and get familiar with this playbook on the plane. So to put you guys in that situation, whatever it is you do, whatever career path you're in, right? Say you were not in that position that you are now. Say that you weren't in that position to where you do it every day. Say you were, maybe like the third person and they only call you in for emergency situations in your previous job, right? But say you go to a new company in the middle of the year, and so that means you got to move, all of that, right? You got to go to a whole new company, and they telling you like, hey, you're going to be like the second guy or the third guy, so don't worry about nothing, but hey, look, we got a huge project coming up on Monday. So what we need you to do is on your flight over here, don't just be focused on getting no sleep or trying to figure out how your life is going to look when you get here. We need you to be looking over these blueprints, looking over these plans so you can be proficient for this project that we have on Monday, right? So you on this plane, you studying the blueprints, you studying everything, you outlining everything, you trying to get it down. Okay, all right, so make sure if the presentation comes to me, I need to make sure I can talk about this, and this. I need to know this, and this, right? So you all of that on the plane, right? So the Monday project come. Pause. On Monday, you thinking like, okay, I know my stuff, but they ain't gonna call on me to do the presentation anyway, right? Like they've been here, they know the project from front to back. They ain't gonna call on me to do the project, right? Well, something happens, and now you got to lead the whole presentation and project, and you just learned that playbook on the plane. So now you going off on the plane playbook studies, and now you got to know that whole presentation front to back and know it like you wrote it yourself. And not only do you do that, but you do it well, and you kill the presentation. You kill the whole presentation, the whole project. You kill it by yourself. So then guess what? You finally get an opportunity to lead your own company. That opportunity for Baker was going to Tampa, right? He goes to Tampa in his first year, kills it, does his thing, get the 3-year $100 million contract extension, right? Cool. So now Baker Mayfield is in a position to where he has pretty much given Tampa stability after Tom Brady, because after Tom Brady, I didn't know what Tampa was going to look like. I don't know, and I can say this as a Falcons fan, I did not know what Tampa was going to look like after Tom Brady, post Tom Brady. I had no clue. But I can say this. Baker Mayfield going to that team, and I'm not even a fan of the Bucs, but once again, we're in the same division. I can say Baker Mayfield going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was, when I tell you, it couldn't have been a better relationship as far as what the quarterback brings as far as intangibles, energy, passion, hustle. When I tell you he couldn't have went to a better team, that's what I mean with Baker Mayfield in Tampa. Because Baker Mayfield, I woke up feeling dangerous. Like that energy and passion and just drive that he brings to be, he don't got to be the biggest quarterback on the field. He ain't got to be the strongest quarterback on the field. But I tell you this, he going to give you hustle. He going to give you passion. He going to try. He going to give you effort. He going to do anything he possibly can, play hurt, everything. He going to do everything he possibly can control to try to give you everything he got to try to help you win this game. And that is kind of the vibe I get with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that is the quarterback they needed after you get a quarterback like Tom, who is the ultimate winner, the ultimate quarterback, the ultimate, like poise-driven competitor. That's the perfect segue they needed moving over from Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield was that saving grace for them, right? So he just wants to be paid fairly. Baker Mayfield is the 16th highest paid quarterback in the league right now. 16th. He's the 16th highest paid quarterback in the league right now. Okay? Now, here's the thing. When Baker Mayfield was at his peak, was at his highest, if you would say highest potential, if you will. I'm talking about progressive commercials through the roof. Do you know, fun fact, do you know that his best seasons happened as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer? Wait a minute, you mean to tell me all the progressive commercials and this is my house and we at the gate and we got Wi-Fi and all of that? Yeah, the best years of Baker's career as a starting quarterback happened as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Baker Mayfield never eclipsed 4,000 yards as a Cleveland Brown, ever. He's done that twice as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Twice. Baker Mayfield never made a Pro Bowl in Cleveland. Guess what? He did that twice as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And we're wondering why he feels like he needs to get paid. Let's keep it real here, and I'll be completely honest with you. The option before Baker Mayfield was what, Kyle Trask? Now, granted, we don't know what Kyle Trask had to offer because Kyle Trask never had the opportunity to play and get a fair opportunity to be the starter in Tampa. But at least I feel comfortable, in all respect to Kyle Trask, in all respect to him, I feel better with Baker Mayfield leading me out to play a game on Sunday than I do with Kyle Trask at the time that it was time for Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield to take over. I feel more comfortable with Baker Mayfield leading the show. Because he's done it before. He has the experience. He knows what it takes. He's played with wide receivers like Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry and, David Njoku. He knows what it's like to lead a team and have a team dependent on you and having that energy, that weight of a city on you and that weight of the team's expectations and everyone believing you to carry this team to places that they haven't been in a while. He knows that pressure. So Kyle Trask, for him, that would have been unfamiliar. So I trust Baker Mayfield in that situation over Kyle Trask, respectfully to Kyle Trask. No flack on him at all. All respect to Kyle Trask, for real. But I trust Baker Mayfield more, me personally. And you can feel how you want to feel about Baker Mayfield, but I'm going to give you guys the stats. In 8 seasons, in 8 seasons, he's thrown for over 28,000 yards, almost 200 touchdowns. He's at 197 right now, so he'll reach 200 touchdowns this season. And like I said, selected to play in 2 Pro Bowls. By the way, both Pro Bowls, once again, happen in Tampa. He just wants to get paid, bro. And I don't know what is going on in Tampa. I don't know if, I don't know what's going on the money side in Tampa. I don't know if they feel like that it's not worth betting on. I don't know if they feel like it's not worth paying the money to maintain a team that they don't feel like is very good. I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what the situation is. I don't. But I will say this. I feel like the way Tampa is operating business-wise is not looking good. Because you got to think, like I said, we just talked about another player who is unhappy yesterday and trying to find his way out right now. So you also have the starting quarterback unhappy. And of course, Baker Mayfield, I don't feel like would, go out on a limb and make it all about him in the middle of a season. I don't feel like he would do that. But let's be real, he has emotions. Just because you're a professional don't mean you don't have emotions. It's just like if you're killing at your job or whatever, right? And you feel like, okay, I'm worth this raise. I'm worth whatever I feel like I need to be paid, right? And the company or the organization is pretty much telling you, nah, you not. You can't tell me that you ain't thinking about that throughout the course of the year. Even if you saying you not, like I ain't thinking about it. It's what it is. What it is. Yeah, that's great, but you think about it. You think about it. On that drive to work in the morning, on that drive into the building, when you walk into the building, when you're warming up, you think about it. When you sitting at home with your wife and you sitting at home with your girlfriend or whatever, and y'all just chilling, watching a movie or something, Netflix and chilling or whatever, you think about it. It'd be in the back of your mind, like dang, like, man, why they just won't pay me what I'm worth? Like, I done took them to the playoffs twice. I took them to the playoffs twice. Made the Pro Bowl. Had the best seasons of my career. I've given you guys the best seasons of my career. Baker is 31 years old, and he gave Tampa the best years of his career. And people can argue that Baker Mayfield wasn't even supposed to be the franchise quarterback in Tampa. He was supposed to be a 1-year relief pitcher, and he went into that organization and became the stable quarterback that they were looking for. Gave y'all the best seasons of his career, and he can't get what he feel like he's worth. Winning the Super Bowl is a team accomplishment, people. It's a team accomplishment. Baker Mayfield can play great, but if the team ain't great, then ain't no Super Bowl coming. Pause. It's just what it is. So I don't know what Tampa has to do, but I will say y'all gotta get these contracts in better order, because it's a lot of players that's gonna be looking to move elsewhere if y'all don't very, very soon. So we're gonna see what happens, though. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments below. Is Baker Mayfield right about wanting his money? Do y'all feel like the number he wants is right? If you don't, tell me why. If you do, tell me why. And y'all just let me know what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments below. With that being said, man, your boy Chill is out, man. Peace.